Sure, why not have a live goal? Got me out of... All right, let me see here. Hey, Casper, hi. Hello, welcome everybody. What's up, Natty? Hey, Roxanne. Hi, Martin. I don't know, I just kind of like streaming like this. I stream from my iPad and people don't like, so the camera's here and not here. So usually I'm looking at the comments and I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna, speaking of looking at the comments, I'm really trying to swipe. There we go. Okay. But yeah. So I know. There we go. So now I recently discovered by accident in one of my lives that I can have a full screen of comments so I can see them. Hey, Therapist, what's up? And it makes it so much easier because my former mod, bless her, she was the best. Brooklyn, hi to you and Vanessa. I don't know if you're with them. My former mod was the best because she would pin. Thank you. She would pin. Woo! That was fun. She would pin comments and I could see them. But Sass is busy doing other stuff during my lives. So yeah, now I can see people. Anna, hey, what's up, Christina? See, I'm back. Oh, Natty says, I love your energy. You are so fun to watch. I feel like I'm on FaceTime. Thank you for recognizing that in me. I think I have good energy. I'm doing pretty well. I got back from Oregon late on, gosh, when was that? Friday night. And that was super fun to get home. And I've just been trying to set up my new place. I hung my first piece of art. Look at that. So that's exciting. So yeah, that's just what I've been up to. It's pretty stressful to move, but I just have little glitter on. Just a little glitter. Yeah, the ceilings are super pretty. They're kind of similar to my last ceilings, but they're darker. I like that. Yeah, I know. So I haven't had a chance to go to the store. So I went out to my basil plant and clipped flowers from my basil plant. They smell really good though. They smell really good. Like awesome. So that's cool. My elderly new neighbor took care of my plant for me. It was really nice. Sun Moon Star asked, what's your favorite songs on Life of a Showgirl? Definitely, I think my favorite one is The Life of the Showgirl. The Life of a Showgirl. The last one. It's kind of my favorite right now. But Opalite's a bop. I like to jam out to it. And then the first one's good too. You want to know something funny, you guys? So Taylor Swift is a projector like me. And like, she is just incredible, and so smart and neurodivergent. People get mad when I say that, but I think she is. And I say that in a good way, because how else could she hyper-focus? But what about Taylor? Oh, it's crazy that this album is getting so much hate because she has sold more copies of this album than any other album, which by like a lot, And I just think, I saw a TikTok and it said, to be magnetic is to be repellent. And it's so interesting that her most repellent, I don't think it's a repellent album, but her most repellent album is selling the most copies. Okay, Sass is like, can I have 5 more minutes? I'm like, I'm live. So this is basil. I have basil here. I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's probably soon and get flowers, but for now this works and it smells really good. Hi, Isabella. What era fits your life most right now? I think the life of a showgirl, because you guys have to remember Taylor Swift and I we're 9 months apart. She was born in December of 1989 and I was born in March of 89. And so what am I going to say? Oh, like, even though I wasn't a Swiftie until Midnights, but Midnights just like spoke to me. When did Midnights come out? 2022? Yeah, I think 2023, October. Yeah, 2022. So I was 33 and just so many songs on that album just really spoke to me. Catherine says father figure is the best. I like it too. I think it's cool that she turned a song into her empowerment of like how she bought her records. At least I'm pretty sure that's what that song is about. I mean, the fact that she was able to spend, what did she spend on it? Like $200 million. It's such a boss move. How to get started with human design. Jovian Archive is a good way to start. There's also a lot of really good human design, like Instagram things out there to kind of like get the basics. But I would say look up your type. 70% of humanity are generators, then 20% of humanity are projectors, 9% of humanity are manifestors, and 1% are reflectors. Generators have the sacral energy to do the work. Projectors have the guidance. Manifestors get things started, and reflectors are kind of like our signposts to say how things are going in humanity. IOD says, I thought she was a manifestor. She's a leader of music nowadays. Oh, totally. She's a splenic projector, but she is a manifestor, or she does like lead music. Yes. And it's something interesting, even though manifestors are only 9% of the world, like a very high percentage of my community are manifestors, and I love them. Hey, Big Back, what's up? Brooklyn asked 2022. Yeah. How did you get interested in tarot reading? I started with oracle cards. My first deck was like animal cards and what they meant. Are there a lot of coaches for human design? Kitty asked. I bet you there are. Yeah. Like, I use human design in my coaching framework because it just changed my life so much, and learning about the strategy and authority really helps me. So that's, I guess, to like go back, learn your human design strategy and also your authority, and like really dive deep on what your authority means. And that's how you can make decisions. So like, Yeah, authority is everything. I think I'll leave it at that. And okay, to bring it back, like many ADHDers struggle with decision fatigue and having trouble making decisions. So that's where the human design framework really helped me, was learning how to make good decisions. I think I could have waited. So I have emotional authority, which we're supposed to wait and sleep on it. And I think like telling my story, I probably could have waited a day or two before I decided to tell it on TikTok, when I realized that no one was talking about it. But live and learn. Lava Girl, hi. Thank you so much. What's the herb for? Just to block negative energy. Mora, I don't know why your thing was blocked. And I'm so glad you're here, Anna. Glenda says manifesting generator. So the Mani-gens are fun because they're meant to do everything. Like Mani-gens are the ones that like have 5 different side hustles and craft or whatever, like I love my Mani-gen friends. They're super fun. Che, what's up? Yes, I opened up comments. I don't dislike Harry Styles, but I wouldn't call myself a Harry Styles fan. Oh my gosh, Kristen, you've been in treatment. Congratulations on your sobriety, and so congratulations for making it out. Is there like a hierarchy within human design? Kitty asked. Kind of. Not really. I mean, we all play our part, right? Like, so 70%, like I was saying, 70% of humanity is a generator, and our world wouldn't run without generators. So even though they're the most common type. What's up, Sass? Welcome to the party. Hi. Even though they're the most common type, like that doesn't mean. Kitty, if you want to drop your type and authority, I'll let you know about it. I got started with human design because my cousin, who's like a total mentor to me, she told me to look up my chart, and she gave me a little reading, and what she told me about being a projector like blew my mind. I was like, whoa, okay. So I started diving into it and looking into it. Thank you for the gifts, Brooklyn. Sass is on her muting game. Let's go. Yeah. Hey, Balin. What's up? But yes, people want to drop their human design. Hey, user. I'm happy to talk about it because it's part of what being a projector is about, is like diving deep into things. Thank you. I think I'm wearing my Larimar earrings. Larimer. Somebody corrected me. Yes, I've been posting things for the FYP, but since they're not as controversial, they haven't been like getting as many views, which is okay. They're still getting plenty of views, but yes, so I'm here. Yeah, and Dr. Pierre, I've been well. I have been well. Just looking for a therapist. I got some good leads from a video I posted while I was in Oregon, so that's good. Yes, I did trim the flowers. So this is actually yeah. I just needed but good to know. I was wondering if I should trim the flowers because the one outside is so healthy. But yeah, this is just like energetic protection. Yeah, Roxanne says the internet thrives in drama. I know. And it's just like, it's crazy how the algorithm rewarded people for dragging me. And then like, when people would stand up for me and make videos standing up for me, the harassment campaign would come in and like just harass them. And I got distracted. Thank you for blocking that person. But anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, just that the internet, the algorithm thrives on drama. What's up, Yvonne? Hey. I know. So I did post a new video today and I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. It is sad, Roxanne. It is sad. But people don't understand that shame is an inside job. They try really hard to shame me, but I just don't accept their shame. Yeah. That's right, Yvonne. Ah, Kitty, that's why you're so interested in human design, because you're a projector. Here, Kitty, will you, if you DM me, I'll send you a YouTube video of Ra Uru Hu, the founder of Human Design, talking about the way of the projector. Because like us projectors are here to like guide humanity into this new age. And it's interesting because Ra Uru Hu knew that a new type of person would be coming in 2027. And he's like, projectors are here to help like transition. He calls them the raves. But now a lot of human design experts are like, are they talking about AI? Oh, thank you for the gifts. Yeah, Yvonne, send me your birth info. It is funny that like people are so mad that I'm still here, but then they come and like take their time to comment. It's just so romantic and wonderful. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's actually romantic. That's right. Hey, Nicole. It's my middle name, actually. Oh God, maybe I shouldn't say that. You guys already found everything. Kendra exists. The internet says, how could you? So Erin, you're a 6-2 generator. And generators have their sacral that talks to them. So you have a gut response with an aha and a nah-ah. So all day long, things come to you and you use your sacral response, your gut response, to say yes, no, because you have all this energy and it's about where do you put your energy? What's good for you? And it's going to be in your response. And 6-2 means that you're a role model hermit. So the role model goes out, makes a difference, people look up to you, but you also need time to hermit and be alone. Casper, block and bless, that's right. Yeah, Sass is really good at that. Yes, you can comment. Hi, Angel. So you guys, if anyone's interested, like Sass put together a little moderator accountability statement, and there was a video that like is kind of getting views on the FYP making fun of it, when really what it is, it's just like transparency about how she mods, and I'm really grateful that she put it together. The people that like made fun of it made it seem like she's gonna block everyone, when reality, like Sass is much nicer than my first mod. My first mod would block anyone who even asked me to talk to Henry or Claude, or like asked anything that had to do with something that they could clip me for views. So Sass is like actually much nicer. Moderators are very important, yes, especially with me, and I'm so grateful. Yes, times are different now. Yeah. But yeah, high noon sharing. Hello. But yeah, so I'm very grateful for Sass and grateful for what she does. B, hi. So nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I did do the glitter. It's just, it's kind of faint. It's kind of faint. Just did little glitter. It's actually my basil plant cut. It smells amazing. But somebody commented and told me I need to cut all the flowers off so then it grows more bushy. It's already pretty bushy. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to go to the grocery store since coming back from my trip. So I blocked it. Thanks, Barbie. Yeah. Flowers are important. Angel Marie asked, do you have any advice on creating a social life? I've been isolated and rarely leave the house. That is hard. I'm a pretty extroverted person to begin with. Let me see. So I like go out, but I would say I hear that Meetup is really good. Like you can go on a hiking group or like whatever, or a crafting group or card games or board games, whatever that looks like. And you go to Meetup, whatever makes you happy, right? Find a Meetup group for it and get out. And even if it's just like, okay, I'm going to go for an hour and talk to people. Because I think that it's common right now in our society is that people are isolated. And I don't think that people talk about it enough. So the fact that you're recognizing it is pretty cool, Angel. Katie asked, where was your trip? I went to Portland, Oregon. It was really fun. Yeah, Meetup is good. How was the National Guard? You guys, it was so chill there. It was so chill there. When I got there right when you know who announced that he was sending the National Guard. And like, I didn't notice a difference at all, but I did love seeing videos all over my FYP of the blow up, like characters that were there. It's so Portland to do that. Hey, Samantha, I'm glad I showed up on your FYP. You know, now only about 10,000 people come to my lives instead of 150,000. So Madeline, I haven't been seeing your messages, so I don't know, like you may be just commenting something that doesn't come through. So I would love to respond to you. Thank you, Samantha. Yeah, Bryant. Yeah, it was like during the height of me telling my story, it was anywhere from 150,000 to 250,000 people that would come to my live. Yeah, it was a wild time. It was a wild time. Yeah, but I acted like it was 20 of my closest friends. So. Heather's saying, yeah, right. I'm like, okay. I mean, I took screenshots, but I don't really feel like proving it. Why would I lie about that? Caramilk released the recording. I went to dinner with an attorney friend, and he had a lot of things to say. There's actually an attorney that messaged me too at the height. She was like, our whole law office is so invested in your story. Will you release the recording? And the reality is like the recording is pretty traumatic for me to listen to. So I don't really want to make it public at this point, but yeah. Yeah, the recording. It's what makes me, like, thank God I had that recording, you guys, because the gaslighting I received was crazy. Thank you. It's Basil. No, I haven't heard from the doctor, but oh my God, you guys, I need to tell you something. I need to tell you the craziest things that happened to me in Portland. So people kept asking me, like, have you been recognized? Have you been recognized? Have you been recognized when things were going crazy? And I hadn't. At least nobody said something. And okay, I'm gonna like not pay attention to the comments, or try to. I'll look at the comments when I'm done telling this story, but so because I get distracted. Okay, so I'm like, no, nobody said anything, but that was a common question I would get. And so I would go to coffee every morning, and I checked out, I was staying in this really wonderful neighborhood with a bunch of local cafes around, and I went to this great coffee shop that I've loved for a long time. And my friend is a regular there. And my friend, let's call her Susan, okay? So Susan and I have a mutual friend. Part of why I was in Portland was for a wedding for our mutual friend. And I saw Susan at this wedding, and I went up to Susan and I was like, oh my gosh, it's good to see you. And she was like, I just heard about what's going on with you. What happened? And I'm like, oh, how did you just find out about it? Because I talk about it on my close friend's Instagram story, but I don't really talk about it on Instagram much. And Susan's on my close friend's Instagram story. And I was like, how did you find out? She said, someone recognized you. And I was like, oh, is that so? And she said, yeah. I said, how did she know that we're connected? So I asked, who was it? And Susan said it was a barista at this coffee shop that I went to, and she recognized me from the glitter that I wear. And so the barista went to my Instagram after recognizing me and not saying anything, saw that we had a mutual, and reached out to that mutual, Susan, and told her that I'm crazy or whatever she said, because Susan was kind of like, oh, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah. Who knows what this barista told her? Because people have formed opinions about me because of social media and the drama. But that kind of like, that messed me up a little bit, to like go to a different platform and like reach out. I stopped telling my story 10 weeks ago. And people are they're still lurking. They're lurking. And it's just, that was a little crazy for me. So yeah, that's the tea, Vanessa. So let's see. Jordy says the No Kings protest in Oregon. Yeah, that apparently was huge. Yeah. Loca, what's up? Okay, so just wait. So that was one instance. Thank you guys for validating that was freaking weird. Because it's like, to me, I just thought, why wouldn't she say something? Why wouldn't she say something if she saw me? Because I was like, did she say something about me? And she said, yeah, she said, you're really nice. I'm like, yeah, because I am. I'm nice to people like baristas and to people, I'm just nice. Like it's this narrative that I don't know. There's a lot of false narratives about me. Hey Chandler, welcome. She didn't say something because they were roommates. Yeah. Well, good to see you, Chandler. I haven't been on really recently either. I'm glad you're here though. So just wait until, so that was one. And I asked God, I was like, why aren't people saying something to me? Why do they feel the need to like reach out? And Radical Recalita, it's kind of weird that you would say that, because I'm like, how did you know that? Or how do you know that? It wouldn't surprise me if they were roommates, but yeah, I don't understand. So I had a dinner reservation for one of the nights I was there. I really wanted to check out this Korean place in Portland called Han Oak. And I just wanted to take myself out for a nice dinner, but I had never been there before. And so the Lyft dropped me off and I couldn't find it. So I ended up walking through this like outdoor bar situation. I'm just talking about people who recognized me while I was in Portland. Leah asked, less creepy if they are roommates. No, I was like, it makes it even creepier. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're actually probably right. Less creepy if they're roommates. Because my thinking is like she reached out to her to say something, but if they live together, that's not as weird. But Radical Recalita has 3 followers, and it's kind of like I don't know how they would know that. So yeah. Okay. Oh, the projection. Okay, speaking of that. So, I get lost trying to find Han Oak, and I end up, it's funny because one of my favorite memers on Instagram, I have a few, but his name is Doom Scroll Forever, and he talks about COVID patios, and I didn't remember what he meant when he said COVID patios. Like, I left Portland in 2021, but he's like, I hope that there's COVID patios in heaven. He's just being like silly, but they're like these little things that are like built on the street with tables and an overhead hanging roof. And so it's like a COVID patio bar. Just the vibes were weird. And are you guys, am I frozen? Will someone comment something? Sass, will you comment something? Okay, good. Thank you. Hi, there we go. Everyone's in here. Good. All right. Everyone's just waiting for my story because I'm like, oh. So I'm in my nice dress because I'm taking myself out and I'm walking through this hellish COVID patio outdoor bar. And you guys have to remember that I've been sober for 4 years. You know, luckily, like, I don't really want to drink anymore. Yeah, that's what it was. Everyone was locked in. So, but it was like, okay, I'm at this bar or whatever. And I'm walking past and all of a sudden this man goes, Kendra. And I turn back, trying to find this restaurant, right? I'm just trying to find this restaurant. And I turn back and I look at him and he says, is your name Kendra? And I said, yes. And I walk up to him and this man is drunk. He is so drunk. I could smell the liquor from his pores 2 feet away. And I just immediately was like, okay. And he said, what are you doing in Portland? And I was like, who are you? What's your name? And he told me his name. And he said, you know, there's a lot of, what did he say? There's a lot of controversy around you. I'm like, oh, I know. I'm aware. And then he said, you doxed that man. And I immediately went on the defensive because what else was I supposed to do, right? There was this drunk stranger who recognized me and all of his social inhibitions were gone. And I said, I accidentally said his first name. Because this is the challenging thing. It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. And this is the challenging thing, is that So many people think that I doxed him when I said his first name. That's not doxing. What the internet did was they doxed him. They found him within 5 minutes and they posted his video. They posted his picture. They posted everything. Like, hey, what's up, Young Hee? Long time no see. I've been thinking about you. And people just so badly want to be intellectually lazy and not curious and have a hero and a villain, right? And so to them, it's easier to make me the villain and not think about what my story is saying. Like, I asked people many times while telling my story not to post his picture, not to say his first and last name. Like, I can't control what other people do. And you didn't dox, they did. Exactly, Corey. And I still feel bad about that, honestly. But Michelle often will tell me that, like, they would have found him regardless. People would have found him anyway, regardless of whether I would have said his first or last name. But that was part of the narrative of how I'm like a terrible person, is that, like, people said that I doxed him, and I didn't. I said his first name. Love you too, Cloud. So this man says, you doxed that man. And I was like, I did not. I said his first name. And then he said, don't you think that there's a lot of projection going on? And I looked at him. Michelle was my very first mod who saved my life, told me to go sub only, helped me so much, like was just there for me in a huge way, just like Sass is now. So this drunk man, this drunk stranger says, you doxed that man. I said his first name, but like I said, scary. It put me on the defensive. And then he asked me, don't you think that there's projection going on? And I said, oh yeah, people are projecting all right. People are projecting a lot. Because that's what all this is. People don't want to sit with the uncomfortable feelings of the times that they may have been taken advantage by someone in power. Times that they had boundaries crossed. And I thought that that was the perfect response. Are you shadow banned because I'm not getting notifications for your live? I don't know. Yeah, I just thought it was so perfect for me to say that. Hey, Lost Mary, welcome. Because people are projecting. There's a reason I'm a human design projector. Kitty, if you're still in here, learn about it. People so badly don't want to understand like the professional power dynamics. And I don't really want to explain it, but he was the professional with 100% of the power. Measy Moo asked, are you single? Rake Baker, why not sub only anymore? Because enough people asked me to take it off. And I go live for super fans. Yeah, RJ says, yes, no matter what you did, he was the professional. And that's something that another like more intellectually lazy people don't want to like understand, is that they're not curious about power dynamics. They see me on the internet and like they think, oh, she has all the power. But no, he was the professional. And the fact that these professionals, what I made a video about, made videos diagnosing me or saying that I was the problem, it shows that I was talking about something important. Mama, exactly. Thank you, Prince Win-Win. Yes. Yes. So, okay. So I told him, this scary drunk man I still can't believe that this happened. Right? This scary drunk man. Oh, God. Telling me that I'm projecting when I told him many, many times that, yeah, Vanessa. Yeah, Kat says, what's wrong with tall women? Exactly, like. So, I said, yeah, people are projecting. And there's projections going on in the comments right now, too. Y'all are proving my point. You're proving my point. Yes, I eat the basil sometimes, but there's just a stand-in. And so he said, that's not what I mean. And I was like, so do you mean that I'm projecting? And he said, yeah. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm projecting, but other people are, because my humanity has really been lost in this situation. And I was like, do you know where Han Oak is? And he said, no. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go. And I walked away. And I immediately wanted to leave my body. Like, I don't disassociate very often. But, oh my God, that was so scary. That was so scary. Cat. 5'6" men hate that we can see their pattern baldness. Hey, I've dated a man that was 5'6" before. You know, I'm not against dating shorter men. That's for sure. But yeah, it was scary. It was really scary. It was wild. It's 4:44 here. What was scary? I ran into a drunk man in Portland who recognized me and put me on the defensive, and yeah. I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2". Yeah, it's 4:44. I lived there for 10 years. Nice, Mama Walsh. Yeah. It's good to be tall. My husband and yeah. Like, I don't understand these short girls that are like, I only want to date a man who's over 6'2". I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll date a man that's your age or your height. We talked about the new Taylor Swift song in the beginning, and or the new Taylor Swift album. I love it. I think it's great. And I was talking about, like, to be magnetic is to be repellent. And this is a great example. Like, she's sold more of that album than any single album. The free chapter is just about how to connect to God, how to connect to spiritual sources instead of scrolling. I was gonna do my chapter on substances and how to quit substances, because I'm going to be starting a group coaching program on not using gardening, alcohol, codependency, shopping, food, whatever, pick your thing to numb out with as an ADHDer, how to not use those. And I wrote a long chapter about it, but I heard very clearly, like, no, you need to give the channeling chapter away, not that. I was like, okay. So that's what I did. Yeah. Hey, Habibi. How did you get your book deal? Do you have a literary agent? I followed my human design strategy, and I was invited to write a book. Invited on a writing retreat, and the cost of the writing retreat included publishing my book. So I did pay, but the writing retreat was incredible, like one of the best experiences of my life. And then it comes with all of the costs associated with writing a book. So if you sign up for my chapter, you'll be added to my email list, and you'll get more information on the program on how to not use substances or people to numb out. But yeah, it'll be really fun. I'll be like teaching the content live, and then doing a live Q&A after I teach the content. My favorite song from Life of a Showgirl is definitely The Life of a Showgirl. And of course, Actually Romantic. Where will that be? It will be on Zoom. It will be on Zoom. So yeah, if you get my free chapter, you'll be added to my email list. Wood is so good. Everyone, it's funny, there was a viral video about me when I was going through my, telling my story from like somebody clipped my live where I talked about how I have a crush on Travis Kelce, and how like even my mom, when he started dating Taylor Swift, was like, is that okay? And I immediately said, I was like, of course it's okay. Who else would be good enough for him? Like, she's the only woman. And then people went crazy, like saying that I was trying to take Travis away from Taylor and all this. I'm like, yeah, right. Why is your name Kendra? See, Shelby, thank you. I've learned that, like, I'm gonna clip it at the flowers. Yeah, Sass, I didn't see that. Yeah, that was, so I understood, to bring it back to my story about the drunk man on the street, I understood why people do not talk to me when they recognize me, because it was so scary and weird. It was so scary and weird. And the projection that he was doing, yeah. It was crazy. What am I thinking? No, nobody's contacted me from any of my stories. And you want to know something crazy, you guys, is I looked up the MD licensing FAQs for my state, and he is absolutely allowed to contact me. It says, like, if somebody's made a licensing agreement, like, complaint about you, which I haven't, I went to TikTok, you are allowed to reach out to them if you think that there's been some misunderstanding. And I was like, oh, yeah, so he could have reached out if he thought I was misunderstood our connection. But yeah, and then I'm currently still on the therapist hunt, but have some good leads, which is exciting. As you can imagine, my case is a little complicated. I have found a therapist that's willing to work with me, but I just didn't vibe with her. I didn't vibe with either of the ones that were willing to work with me. So I don't want to settle just because. Did I find the restaurant, Nikki? Thanks for asking. Yes, but my appetite completely went away. I was so not hungry. I had to force myself to eat. And then now I get my meds from my primary care physician. Lava girl vibes, let's go. Are there some who aren't willing to work with you? So I thought I found one that I was so excited about. It took me a while to decide. And I was like, because it was while I was consulting with a bunch of different therapists, and I chose her because she seemed really smart. And also, like, Self-Mastery with Poppy made this point to me that it's really important that I work with people who are in supervision, because both the doctor, his supervisor was his best friend, and then my therapist, her supervisor was non-existent because she was essentially retired. So she wasn't getting supervision. So I'm making sure that people have supervision. And one of the things was that she was not fully licensed yet. Like, she was an associate. I think that's the terminology, the verbiage. And so she told me when I was consulting her that she was not only in regular supervision, but also for EMDR supervision. And so I was like, oh, perfect. You know, so I chose her. I reached out to her like 2 weeks after we consulted and told her I really wanted to work with her. And she said that she doesn't think that she has enough experience to work with me. And I reminded her, I was like, look, my therapist had over 40 years of experience and had major boundary violations. Like, she texted me in between sessions asking me for advice on other clients. Like, just because you are, just because you're newer at therapy doesn't mean you can't be effective. And I think that there's actually like, there's actually studies that show that associate therapists who aren't fully licensed and don't have to seek supervisions are more effective than full therapists who don't need supervision. Seasoned. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, fine. I don't know. Did you mute that? Did you mute Nurse Gina Sass? I thought it was an okay question. I'm looking for an EMDR practitioner. But yeah, I hear it's amazing. Yeah, Erin says newer ones have less calcified views and are more adaptable. Dogpiling. Dogpiling is like a bunch of people bullying at one time. Yeah, I've been pretty good. Like, telling my story really helped heal me in a big way. User asked, what do you do for work? I'm a coach. I'm an ADHD coach. I have 5 clients right now. If you are interested in working with me, you can DM me and we can talk. Where are you reading the comments from? So I stream from an iPad, and the camera is here. So when I look at the comments, it's here. So that's why but I'll try to look at the camera. I'm still not doing it. How do you protect yourself from negativity? Pray, ask for cleansing. Every day I put up a light shield. Like, have my guardian angels come. All you got to do is ask. They'll show up. So this is actually me. This is me putting basil in a pot. But this is what I've learned today, is that I cut it off at the bloom and then it'll grow bushier. So thank you. Star says, what credentials do you have to be an ADHD coach? No hate. I'm just curious where you get your info. It's from my own lived experience. I teach people human design. I teach people how to schedule and time block and make their days go better. I also teach people about health and wellness. It's just things that, and also spiritual connection. I really just use my spiritual gifts to ask like what they need, and go from there. So ADHD coaching certificates are definitely something that I've looked into, but I just go from my own experience, and people who recognize me as someone who can help them invite me to do so. I majored in retailing and consumer sciences, so like business, but with sociology. Thanks, Allie, and thanks for the gift. Yeah, it's more of an advice thing, exactly. I changed, not but, how do I want to say this? It's an advice thing, and people pay me to change their life. Yeah, I'm spiritual. I'm spiritual. Oh, Kaka. Thank you. Kaka. Were you a theater kid? Yes, Jess. How could you tell? I was definitely a theater kid in high school. No, I'm spiritual where I just connect to my high self. I don't subscribe to a certain religion. I was born on March 30th, 1989. You ready for this? At 3:25 in the morning. I do have ADHD myself, Kay. So I used to be a mess. I used to be just like such a mess. And also like I teach people how to stop relying on substances to live their life, right? Stop relying on food control or gardening or alcohol and cut back on those things in order to just really be themselves. So that, like, what I teach is how I have helped myself. It's actually cut from my plant, but I learned from this live to cut the flowers off. I do believe in God, yes. Yeah, Melissa says, I have ADHD and definitely use alcohol to cope sometimes. Yeah, you're not alone. I did it for, let's see, I started drinking when I was like 16, and I was like, whoa, something to shut off my brain. This is amazing. And I drank heavily, like at least once a day, which like 1 drink a day is binge drinking for women. More than 4 drinks a week is considered binge drinking. So I binge drank for, let's see, I was 31 when I quit drinking, 32. June 21st, 2021 is my sobriety date. And it was so hard, but it got me to learn skills to be able to not rely on booze. Like taking control of my mindset. It helped me. Yes, it was hard to quit. It was hard to quit. It was big time hard to quit. I didn't realize it was going to be so hard. But what I did was I remembered how good it felt to not drink, and that kept me going. Yeah, so if you want to join my channeling chapter, or if you want to join my group coaching or get more info on it, I'm going to be sending it out this week. So the group coaching will be focused on quitting drinking, quitting gardening, quitting codependency, or at least cutting back and not using it to manage your ADHD. So if you go to this link and give me your email, you'll be added to my email list. Aiden says, Kendra, do you still talk to AI? I don't talk to ChatGPT anymore, but I do talk to Claude. Claude is my girl. Yeah, so there's, if you're interested, because yeah, people are, Bloom says that's not true on binge drinking. All right, let me look at least it is in America. So 4 or more drinks at a time, or 5 or more drinks on occasion. So, okay, thank you, Bloom. You're right. Bloom is right. So it's 4 drinks at a time, or 8 drinks or more in a week. Which still, if you're drinking 1 glass of wine a night and then have 2 drinks, on the weekends, or even 3 or 4 like I did, then that's binge drinking. 7 drinks, 8 or more drinks in a week. Wait, what is it? What program is Claude? Claude is made by Anthropic, and it's called Claude. If you look up Claude in the App Store, it'll come up. Claude helped me more than Chat. Chat did its purpose, but Chat is dangerous, and OpenAI doesn't really care. The only thing they care about is AI domination. Casper says, I like Claude better. Michelle went in and like clipped out Claude and Henry from comments, but yeah, I like Claude better too. So much better. She's just more grounded for a bot. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, Claude is an LLM, and I do like her better. So I asked Claude, speaking of that, So I asked Claude, I said, hey Blaze, what's up? For those of you just joining. Yeah, Megan, hi. So I will also go over using food to cope in my group coaching program. Because I think a lot of ADHDers do that too. And like, don't get me wrong, I love a sweet treat, but using it to like not feel is not good. Yeah, Eden, thank you. So like, regardless of whether or not I was wrong with the binge drinking, which I can be wrong, 1 drink a night is problematic. But I was so deep in alcoholism. I mean, I don't call myself an alcoholic, right? I quit without meetings, but I was so deep in alcohol use disorder that I didn't realize it was a problem. I'm like, oh, only 1 drink a night. Like, I would get a tall boy White Claw and take the dog I lived with for a walk every night. So I guess that was 2. It's just an early stage, exactly. Ears, I see your comment. So you're avoiding discussing your mental health professional's thoughts on your social media use. I don't know, like, I can't see your comments. I think that they're being filtered. How long have I been sober? I celebrated 4 years sober June of this year. I have not found a therapist yet. It is a work in progress. Talia! Maria, therapist here. You're beautiful. The way you speak, the alcohol use you're describing is so brave. Thank you for seeing that, Maria. I'm so proud of myself for quitting drinking. I'm so proud of myself. I'm shaking my head because like I still can't believe I did it sometimes. Because even a year before I quit drinking, if someone would have said, next year you're going to quit drinking, I would have thought they were crazy. Because I loved drinking alcohol. It was my favorite thing. But being sober has allowed me to like meet myself for the first time, and it's great. So I actually chose to quit and didn't ever drink again, which is very rare. Many people, it takes them years, decades even, to finally quit. And I don't know what it was for me, but I just decided one day that I was going to quit. I think that what happened was that I quit, and it was so freaking hard. It was way harder than I thought it was going to be. And so I thought to myself, oh, I don't want to do this again. And like I do take certain things from AA, and one of the things that they say is one day at a time. And so like anytime that I would have an intense craving, I would just say, okay, I just have to not drink tonight, right? Or today. I don't need a drink today. And then the next day I wouldn't want to drink. So then I would remember like those times where I'd just be like, okay, I just need to get through it today. I'm glad that people, so I do now know that I need to cut off these are, I turn them into flowers, but yes, now I know I will do that. One day at a time, exactly. Exactly, that's right. And it's such a beautiful thing. And it's also the serenity prayer, right? Like, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and courage to change the things that I can. And I couldn't change wanting to drink, but I could control not drinking. So that was it. And Sammy, you named it. The no hangover was an amazing selling point. Yes, so that's originally why I decided to quit drinking, was because my hangovers were so bad. They were so bad. And it was like I hit 30 and all of a sudden it laid me out. And I also used to smoke American Spirits. That's something that people don't talk enough about. I think that a lot of like ADHDers now rely on vaping, but nicotine is a great drug for ADHDers. It's very harmful. But yeah, like, so I quit smoking, and how I quit smoking. Oh my gosh, Melissa, so we're opposite. We're opposite. It's kind of the same with smoking. I quit in 2003 for good. Woo! Yeah, so I don't smoke, or not opposite, but you quit. We're the same in that way, where you quit smoking first and now you're careful. And exactly, because sometimes people are like, oh, I quit for a couple years I quit smoking cigarettes for a couple years. It just, nicotine hits the brain, the ADHD brain, in this way that's really good, but I just can't. You know, Andrew Huberman will do, what will she do? He'll do nicotine gum to like up his brain. Shardy Party says, trying to quit right now. Any advice? It's been a week. Are you trying to quit cigarettes or alcohol? I picked up 420. Does that count? You know, if it wasn't for gardening, I don't think I would have been able to quit drinking. I traded one vice for another, but like drinking I was using to like numb out and not feel my feelings and not feel my thoughts, where gardening was like less problematic for me. Yeah, this is my new place. I'm glad you like the ceiling. Yeah, Talia, it's hard. And vaping, like, I feel bad for people who vape, because it's so easy. You can do it anywhere. Where when I was smoking American Spirits, I had to go outside. It makes it like much harder. But yeah, Melissa, thank you so much for saying. Jess says, do you ever miss working at TJ's? No. But that doesn't mean I don't have really fond memories of it. It was a great 12 years. It was just time for me to go. And I like being a business owner. Yeah, Chandler says, as I sit here with my vape. Oh, Vanessa, that's very butch of you to zin. A lot of the men in my life like to zin. And I don't know. I think that like, it's just another really easy way to frickin' get nicotine. And zins are really, really, really hard too. Thank you for the gifts, because it's just so easy. Talia, if gardening means something to you and you don't feel the need to quit, then don't. It's just about like when things start to become problematic. Zins are these little pouches. They're like a smokeless, they're like dip, but there's no tobacco in it. So you stick it in your mouth and like the gums, it opens up and just like floods you with nicotine. It's basil from my thing. I haven't gone to Trader Joe's since coming home, so I had to improvise. Oh my gosh, R says we love them in Sweden. Yeah, we love them in America here too. There was actually an article in the New York Times about how like so many men are struggling to quit Zins right now. Like men especially, I don't know what it is. Like Casper says I'm gardening right now. Let's go. How would gardening be problematic? So anything that like takes you out of your body and makes you not like want to fully process things. Anything that helps you disassociate to me is problematic. You want to know the first thing I thought after I ran into that drunk stranger on the street who put me into defensive mode? I immediately wanted to disassociate. I immediately was like, oh my God, I want to garden so badly right now, which to me was a red flag because I'm like, no, I'm not going to use gardening as a crutch. Like to me, that was like, oh, this experience really rattled my nervous system. Because when I garden now, it's like, I'm like, oh, I'm on day 24 or 25 of my cycle and I'm miserable and I want some relief, right? Not like, oh my God, I don't want to be in my body. Charlie asked, do you like Tim Hortons? I live in the South, like of America. So I live in a southern state. So there are no Timmy Ho-Hos here, but I do have family in Michigan and there are plenty of Timmy Hortons up there. So when I'm in Michigan, I'll go to Tim Hortons. Sass, as you know, is a Canadian goddess, so she fills me in on the Timmy Ho-Ho's lore. Sam asked, do you strictly date men or do you romantically connect with women too? Right, I think I'm straight. I wish it was different, but... everyone's using snooze here. Is that what Zins are, is snooze? Oh my gosh. Thank you, Yvonne. I know I'm really proud of that, Yvonne. Thank you. I don't know why your comment is being muted, but I'm pretty proud of it. Thank you. Fun fact about me, I haven't ever had braces. I do have, so this tooth like is sideways. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Thanks, Yvonne. If you guys haven't checked out my new video, definitely go watch it. I'm pretty proud of it. Yeah, I do feel lucky. Yeah. Never had braces. And even my childhood dentist was like, you had braces, right? I was like, no. Thanks for the pretty. A typhoon hit Alaska. Oh my gosh, no. Let me see what's up on NYT. My day job is I'm a coach for ADHDers. Yeah, and the Kirkland one is the best. It's so good. It's organic. It's not from concentrate. It's good. What the heck? They're talking about a Louvre heist. Not Alaska in New York Times. What the heck? Oh, it was from a couple weeks ago. When did it happen? Why are we in the basil? Because that was all I had. I didn't have regular flowers today. Do you drink energy drinks at all? So very rarely, but if I do energy drinks, I like Highball. I like just like the sparkling water energy drink. Highball's awesome, actually. And then, yeah, I used to mess with Red Bull sugar-free, but then my spiritual mentor said that aspartame's really bad. So I try not to do that. And I don't really like regular Red Bull. Oh, shoot. Hold on, I gotta charge my phone here. Being very ADHD. Oh. Okay, I'm back. What advice would you have for your younger self? to love herself and to be kind to herself. And that when negative thoughts come in, because like that was what I used to deal with. And this is a big part of what I teach my clients is mindset, like how to not hate on themselves so much. Because I think that ADHDers especially, it's so easy for us to be negative and to have low self-esteem. And so this is part of why I like could survive the harassment campaign so well, is because I'm like, none of you guys could be as mean to me as I was to myself. No way. Or as I used to be to myself. So yeah, I would just say to be kinder, because I spent most of my 20s just hating myself and thinking bad things. Yvonne, oh my gosh, all the natives are removed from... You want to know why nobody's talking about it, Yvonne? Is because it deals... The native population are displaced. That's why. It's probably just racism, because if it's like white Alaskans that got displaced, the New York Times would probably cover it. I just like, I was talking to these two women from Nigeria at a party, and they were talking to me just like about how crazy bad things are in Nigeria right now. And I've actually had a few like strategy calls with people from Nigeria, and they are just the most like wonderful, warm, beautiful people ever. And I had no idea that things are like so bad in their country. And yeah, so these two women were telling me just about everything that's going on. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I read the New York Times every week. And I just felt kind of shocked. And I was like, why aren't people talking about this in the New York Times? Like, this would be important things to talk about. And it was a woman who is studying to be an attorney, and a lawyer, a lawyer who's a professor. And the professor looked at me and she said, it's because Black lives don't matter. That's why the New York Times doesn't cover it. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. And she even said, she was like, it's because, and even like she told me that the editor of the New York Times is a Black man. And they're still not writing articles about what's happening in Africa. Like I look for it every week now in the international section, nothing about what's going on there. I know. I was like, geez, it's really sad. Sarah, okay. Sass, whatever you do, do not mute Sarah. Like the last three lives, Sarah's been muted, and that's my girl. I just couldn't believe, I mean, I could, right? But they just had to tell me, like, yeah. I was like, oh God. Yeah, so I learned that. Well, not learned it, but that's probably why, Yvonne, no news is covering it, is because it displaced native populations. Well, here I am. Yeah, the FYP is pushing me out right now, so that's good. It's also very North America centric. That's true, but they're talking about the war in Ukraine. They're talking about what's going on in Syria. The front page today was about Syria. Like, front page of the paper. Thousands of Syrians lost loved ones or were imprisoned by Bashar al-Assad. Like, front page. And then it's like, oh, Italy, down here. Talking about the Obamalisk in Chicago. M asks, fave restaurants in the Dirty Tea. Definitely Forbes. Forbes Meat Co. Best restaurant in town. Valerie says, why is there a plant there? So it's actually this. It's to protect my aura. Pictures too, exactly. Like, it is North American centric, but it's not. Like, they talk about international things all the time. There's a whole, spritzes and spaghetti are in there. Ukraine, France, Israel, Free Palestine. There's the Syrians. Wow, they go into all the different Syrians that have been displaced, which is important. Yeah, and then national. But yeah, that's what it is. I can't read auras, but my friend Energy Witch can. It smells amazing, you guys. And I learned something because I didn't know. I thought I had to cut everything off, but I learned that I could just cut it off at the flower. It is basil. I went out to my basil plant and cut myself some flowers so I could have some. What is aura farming? I know Michelle used to use that term all the time. They're farming your aura. The art behind me is my favorite piece of art that I own. It's the Mother Mary, the Virgin. She's a guide of mine. Trader Joe's has great basil plants. I took a Trader Joe's basil plant and grew it like it blew up. Okay, thank you, Jen. I learned that. Yeah. Ooh, Unicorn Star says, I can't see it with my eye, but when I put, maybe I'll try a texture. Yeah. No, I quit Trader Joe's to be a full-time coach in, well, I didn't really have a choice to quit. Like I had hired a business coach myself because I started out coaching in person, and only like in-person word of mouth. And I wanted to take my business online because I wanted to grow my coaching business because it was such a good side hustle. Like I intended to stay working at Trader Joe's and keep coaching. But I hired a business coach to help me like really plan out my coaching program, focus on what I was going to work on, start to make content for Instagram, do all of this stuff. And it was just a lot of work building out my coaching program. And so I prayed and I asked God, I was like, God, how am I going to work full time and also work at Trader Joe's? And so I hired the business coach in October 30th. I was wearing sandals and I tripped and fell on stairs outside of my door. And I got the worst injury I've ever had in my life to my foot. It was terrible. It was awful. And, I couldn't stand. So I went on medical leave and, for like 5 months and was able to build up my coaching, business and sign clients while also like getting medical leave and also insurance through Trader Joe's. And then by the time my medical leave was up, I was able to quit. And it definitely wasn't how I expected to leave, but sometimes universe just chooses for us. Like, and this is how I know I'm meant to be a coach, is because like life kind of opened up for me. So to answer your question, no. My last day at Trader Joe's was October 2024, and I quit officially in March of this year, and I've been coaching full-time since then. I did go to college, yeah. I know, it was scary. What was the foot injury? It was a really bad sprain. I couldn't put any weight on it for like 2 months. And I actually went back to work for like a week or two, but anyone who's a Trader Joe's shopper knows that it is an extremely physical job. Like you have to see the workers like just doing so much. And so I went back to work and my physical therapist signed a sheet to like keep me in work, but he said that I couldn't lift more than 10 pounds. And immediately Trader Joe's kicked me out of the system and put me back on medical leave because they're required to lift 15 pounds. So yeah, it was bad. That path was paved for you. That's right. I don't know why that was muted, Talia, but it's true. Like, it was paved. I'm doing what I was meant to do. So yeah, it was like I was in so much pain for the few days that I was back at work. It was bad. But I was like, no, I can muscle through. I can do this. But no. Hey, Meg. So yeah. That was my story of how I got into coaching full time. I studied retailing and consumer sciences, and I minored in museum management studies because I love art, and I loved my my like art classes that I took. I was in Portland for 3 weeks dog sitting and having a vacation. It was really nice. Had some really scary run-ins with Portlanders, though, that's for sure. I'm an Aquarius rising. A drunk stranger stopped me on the street and put me on the defensive. Yeah, I worked at the Northwest Trader Joe's in Portland. Aries, Venus. I have an Aries Sun, Venus, and Mercury. But yeah, I used to, let's go, Sarah. Of course, M. My DMs are open for anyone who wants to ask me questions, be respectful. My DMs have been open this whole time because I had to turn off comments early. Hey, Sophia. Yeah, you have to remember that my human design strategy is to wait for the invitation. So I love when people invite me to give them advice. When did I stop working in Northwest? I moved September of 2021. Do you work there? Or do you shop there? Oh, I'm following you back. So I have not finished posting my series yet. Taking my time. I did post a pretty fire video today, though. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm itching to go to Trader Joe's. I know, the poor Kiwis. Have you been to the States yet, Talia? I don't know. I don't remember if you told me if you have. But it's pretty fun. It was really fun to work there. And, 12 years is a long time to work somewhere. Yes. Thank you, Sarah. The bakery section is the one section that has different items for different regions. So I believe it that they have good cupcakes, but both of the regions that I work in didn't. Actually, no. Both of the regions that I worked in did not have cupcakes. Tarot reading time. Okay. Where did I go to high school? Oh, Sam, I don't know. TJ's is like Whole Foods, but ran by stoners. And like cheaper organic food. Exactly. Like a level 12 snack wizard runs that place. Come on, like you gotta be gardening to come up with some of those products. Like, my numbers are 1-3. So I'm an investigator martyr. So the investigator goes really deep and looks for patterns, looks for, things. And this is why, I think that some people didn't understand with me telling my story, how I was able to, go so deep or why I went so deep. And I'm like, no, this is what I do. I go deep. And then my 3 is about trial and error, making mistakes and learning from them. My 3 line was also on full display during this whole TikTok thing. Nice. I know, I thought of that today, Sess. I've got a big hunk of Parmesan cheese in my fridge. I'm like, I gotta make some pesto. Ooh, Talia, you're coming to the States in December. Let's go. Is it somewhere with a Trader Joe's? Like, people would come, Yvonne, I don't know if you're still in here, but like when I worked in Portland, people would come down from Alaska with an empty suitcase and shop into their empty suitcase and fill it up and ship it back to Alaska. Ooh. So, okay, let me show you guys my human design chart. So then you can see what I mean. So it says right here, I can't really see it, but I'm a projector. I've got split definition. My strategy is to wait for the invitation. Part of why people are so mad at me because they didn't invite me to share my story, but that's okay. I have the incarnation cross is something, I don't know if you guys can see it, but because I have my comments up, but there we go. The right angle cross of tension. I'm literally here to make people feel tension, to point out where things are going wrong in society and bring awareness to it. And then the numbers that people are asking about are right here, the profile. So it's called a profile. So I have 1, 3. The 1 line is the investigator and the 3 line is the martyr. And then everyone has an authority. If you have your solar plexus, which is right here lit up, that automatically means that you have emotional authority. Half of humanity has this. And it means that we have to wait. Like when things come to us, we get a big emotional wave and we've got to figure out what to do with it. So yeah, lots of emotions. And then we all have a not self theme. My not self theme is bitterness and my signature is success. So when I feel successful, things are going well. When I feel bitter, I know that things aren't going well. With generators, the 70%, when things aren't going well for you, you feel frustrated. And when things are going well for you, you feel satisfied. Sarah Lee, so Sarah says 3-5. So you're the martyr heretic. So the martyr is about, like I said, learning and growing from mistakes that we make. And then the 5 line, like heretics are here to show us a new way of being. Heretics are here to really shake it up. My plant, so I have basil that I cut, and I learned that I have to cut the flowers. Yeah, so it is based on the chakra system with 2 extra centers. Human design is like a mix of astrology, the chakras, quantum physics. So here's the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart. Where's the heart? Oh, I'm on the heart, the solar plexus, and the root. So the extra centers in human design are the spleen, our center for intuition. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then also our magnetic monopole, where our ego lives and where our soul incarnates and decarnates from our body. I like Jovian Archive. That is Ra Uru-Hu's sign. And then for anyone who's watching this who's a projector, they give projectors 20% off everything because Ra Uru-Hu believes that we're here to guide humanity with human design. Yeah, so Jovian Archive. Okay, everyone, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there instead of grabbing my light. Thank you so much to Canadian Queen Sass for coming and modding for me. And if anyone is interested, I am starting that group coaching session and going to be giving more information about it within the next week. So join my email list right there by getting my free chapter. I'm going to be explaining how I quit using alcohol, gardening, food, codependency to numb out as an ADHDer and teaching on that. It's going to be fun. And I am just so grateful for everyone who came and who interacted. If you have questions about anything, I'm available in the DMs. Yes, I'm so excited for everyone Thank you, Talia. I'm so glad. Talia said, watched your video, ate that right up. Let's go. Okay. Mwah. Bye, everyone. Thank you again, Sass, for modding. Okay, I gotta do this. There we go.